Take a look at these images. What are the first few words that come to your mind? Hipster? Hippie? Grunge? Those are all the things the girls in the photos thought, and those are the words they tagged their photos with on Tumblr. These pictures were later reblogged on the Tumblr site This Is Not India and tagged with the phrase cultural appropriation. For the creator of this site, those were the first words to come to her mind. So what does cultural appropriation mean? If we look at the Wikipedia definition, we see that cultural appropriation is the adoption of some specific elements of one culture by another. Of particular note is the fact that this phrase does have a very negative connotation. What was wrong with these pictures? They showed people who clearly weren't Indian wearing bindis, dots worn in the center of the forehead, as part of a sacred Indian tradition. But clearly there are two sides to this debate. One group of people believes that adopting elements from another culture and remixing across cultures is simply a show of cultural appreciation, while another group vehemently holds that this is cultural appropriation. Who is correct? Unfortunately, it's not that simple to tell. Take a look at this clip from Sita Sings the Blues, a 2008 animated film by American artist Nina Paley that sparked controversy for depicting events from the Indian epic the Ramayana, interspersed with the tale of Paley's own failed relationship. For a little bit of background, the Ramayana tells the story of the god Rama, who is exiled from his kingdom and sent to live in the forest. While there, his wife Sita is kidnapped by the demon king Ravana. Rama rescues his wife, but upon their reunion, he spurns her, just as Nina Paley's husband started to ignore her at some point in their relationship.
Well, here you are. Good night.
Oh gosh. Later, I know what he did. What did he do when he saw her in Lanka? Hug her and kiss her.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. He was very cold.
Why was he cold to Sita?
Actually, I don't, to be honest with you, I'm very shaky on this point. I don't know what he actually
You can
did.
make it up.
You have lived in another man's house, so you are unfit to be my wife.
What?
I have done my duty in rescuing you from the enemy and avenging the insult to myself. I have terrible suspicions about your character and conduct. Ravana was aware of your beauty. He cannot have kept you in his house for so long without touching you. The very sight of you is painful. You are free to go wherever you want. I have no more use for you, Sita.
If I had known this, I would have killed myself before and spared you this war. Build me a funeral pyre. I cannot bear to live. Despite my virtues, my husband has rejected me.
You're mean to me. Why must you be mean to me? See, honey, it seems to me you love to see me crying. I don't know why.
So is this film appreciation or appropriation of another culture? The responses to the film were mixed. Many Hindu groups believed that the film was offensive because it portrayed Rama, a god, in a negative light as a man who callously abandoned his wife. But other Indian reviewers, including those at The Hindu, India's third largest newspaper, praised the film for its ability to remix cultures in a sensitive fashion. This allowed the director to shed new perspectives on the traditionally Indian Ramayana by bringing in a Western feminist reading that allowed Sita's story to finally be told instead of just telling the Ramayana from Rama's point of view. So clearly cultural appropriation is a very real problem, but we can also see that cultural remix and the appreciation that may arise can be highly beneficial. In that case, what is to be done? The solution is to raise awareness on the line between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. What marks the difference between the two is a deeper sense of respect for the other culture that goes beyond the elements that are taken for remixing. Additionally, it is important for people to speak up and to praise cultural appreciation when they see it, and if they are uncomfortable with any piece of cross-cultural remix, then they should speak up and point out the appropriation present. While this may not seem like much, it does bring about necessary change. For example, here at Stanford, the offensive Indian mascot was removed in 1972 under pressure from the Stanford American Indian Organization. And to this day, Stanford continues to remain vigilant against cultural appropriation, as evidenced by the email they sent out before Halloween, warning students to make sure their costumes did not appropriate other cultures.